This is a video I've wanted to make for a minute because I get it asked all the time on stream. Atheists don't have purpose in life. So the first thing that I want to go through is, what is an atheist, right? A is lack of, and theist just means a belief in God or gods. So when you put those two together, you have atheist, a lacking of a belief in God or gods. That's all an atheist is. There's atheists that believe in the supernatural, ghosts, spirits, etc. There's atheists that believe in an afterlife. It's being an atheist does not mean you follow this or that philosophy. Being an atheist does not mean that you believe in any specific dogma, okay? Just simply lacking a belief in gods, period. Nothing extra. And for you Christians watching, fucking accept it. We have said this over and over. And by the way, even if you want to accept the philosophical formal definition of atheist, a disbelief in a god, boo fucking who? If someone tells you they lack a belief, not a disbelief, but even disbelieving, it's still on you for a burden of proof to provide a justification for them to change their mind and believe in said God. They disbelieve, same as you disbelieve in Voldemort. There's no reason to believe Voldemort's real. So yeah, no, I don't believe in Voldemort, unicorns, your God, or Santa Claus. There's no justification for it. So, besides the point, whether they disbelieve or lack a belief, you need to provide a justification. That is an atheist. Atheists, some are super positive, some are super negative. People say I'm super negative. Every time I'm on stream, why are you so angry at God? So let's go through that one. Why the fuck do we hate, or seemingly hate, certain religions, gods, dogmas, etc.? Well, let's take the Bible, for instance. Multiple genocides, condoning of rape, condoning of genocide, condoning of slaughter, condoning of harming children, women, unborn babies. For instance, in the Book of Kings, you have a bunch of children. Oh, they're young adults. You have a bunch of people under the age of 18 that say, "You're bald, bruh." And two bears come and rip them apart. The fuck do you mean you have morals? Let's go into that one. Morals. With or without God, morals are objective or subjective. I accept subjective morals because I don't find any argument for objective morals to be grounded well. I can't grant all the premises for arguments for objective. Subjective, by literal definition, means changes in accordance with tastes, feelings, and opinions. Or you can also take the definition of mind dependent. Well, what does that mean? Okay, well, math is not dependent on my mind for it to be what it is. It is always going to be the answer that comes up. 2 plus 2 will never be 5, no matter how bad I feel like it should be. But morals can change person to person. Now, the biggest argument for the Christian is going to be, just because you feel like something is correct or wrong doesn't make it correct or wrong. And that's true. That's fair. But 2 plus 2 is for objectively. Two things, you have two more added on top of it, is for. My mind, my feelings are false, and they can be proven false. Vegans. It's my favorite example. I personally believe it is morally wrong to harm an animal, period, because of my own research in what constitutes consciousness. And I personally believe it is wrong to harm anything that is conscious and can feel the pain. I think that that is wrong. I'm taking away a life of something that is aware of life. I find that wrong. I also don't think it's correct to inflict pain on something, and I have the knowledge and ability to not inflict that pain. That is highly subjective and controversial. Because then you also have the Christians saying, well, the Bible says that we need to eat meat. God gave us meat to eat. I could argue against that and say we're omnivores. We have the option to do that or not. Then some people are going to argue that you only get certain nutrients that are only in meat. That's also another arguable thing with many different studies that agree and disagree with it. I do it and agree with it from a moral standpoint. I morally find it wrong to cause harm on another creature. Not everyone agrees with that. And you can't prove that that is correct or wrong. Like 2 + 2 is 4. And you can prove that 2 + 2 is 4. That's objectively true. I cannot objectively prove my point. I can give some fucking damn good arguments for why I believe I am correct, but so can you. You can give some damn good arguments as well. For instance, some people will literally die if they don't have protein from meat. That's a fucking good argument. I can't fight that. So is it objectively correct to eat meat? No, it's not what that says. For them, sure. They literally have to, or they die. So they objectively have to have that meat, or they will die. There you go. But that's not true for everybody. So it's subjective to that person. It changes in accordance with feelings, tastes, opinions. My opinion and my feelings are that it's wrong. My tastes of the opinion is that it is wrong. Okay? Subjectively, it is according to my mind, my thoughts, my reasoning, that is wrong. Those are my arguments for morals, and that's the best way that I can explain it. Many people don't agree with that. Many people believe that there are objective morals. There's good arguments for that. Now, life. What is the meaning of life if you do or do not have a God? Okay, well, let's think about this. In the book of Ecclesiastes, for instance, vanity, vanity, all is vanity. The book says life is meaningless unless you have God. Your life purpose is to worship. Your life purpose is to spread the gospel. Good news. Emphasis on the good. That is your purpose in accordance with the book. Can you prove that it's an objectively true purpose? No, you can't, because you can't objectively prove God. Okay, so does that mean that there is no objective purpose to life? No, it's not what that says. But it is saying that that is not an objectively true purpose to life. Is there an objectively true purpose to life? That's a good question. Okay, well, let's say reproduction. Well, shit. Some people literally cannot or do not want to reproduce. So that's not an objective truth to purpose for life. Not everybody can reproduce, and not everyone wants to reproduce. Okay, what about career? Some people don't give a fuck about career. So that's not an objective purpose to life. It's almost as if purposes to life change individual to individual. Some people think it is to live for God. Some people think it is to reproduce and have a family. Some people do think their purpose is their career, etc. Some people believe it is to just live a good life. Purpose is subjective. Huh? That's how it would seem, right? So this is how my reasoning works. So when Christians come in and immediately attack, you have no purpose in life. You're correct. There is no absolute purpose to my life. It is fucking meaningless. I'll make these videos, and then I'm going to die. I'm going to eat my dinner, breakfast, and my lunch. I'm going to die. I have kids. I'm going to die. They're going to die. I have money. I'm going to die and not be able to use it. Nothing I do, technically, objectively, matters. Can I help some people in this life by being nice instead of being mean? Sure. Is that a purpose, though? And is that an objective purpose? Or is that subjective? Well, let's think about that. There's many ways to think about it. Do you have to always be good to people? No. Do you consider lying to be objectively wrong? Well, let's say someone has a gun to your head. I would sure as fuck lie to get my way out of that. Is that wrong of me to lie to get out of a deadly situation? Or what about someone else has a gun to their head and you lie to try and get the gun away? Is that objectively wrong that you lied? Okay, so if lying isn't objectively wrong in every scenario, that means it's subjective to the scenario. Okay, so being good isn't necessarily an objective truth or purpose to life either. Your life is not objectively There's no purpose. You make purpose in your life. With or without God, your purpose is what you make it. Lots of Christians just happen to make it about God. I don't really know if I can tell you if I have a purpose in life. I don't know if I've found the answer to that. I used to think that it was to spread the gospel. Now I think I think my purpose in life is to gain as much knowledge as possible and continue spreading it. Does that mean just making videos for my entire life? Maybe. Should I write books? Maybe. Should I talk to people in real life? Maybe. Should I only talk to people on the internet? Maybe. That's all very good questions. Is that my purpose? I don't know. Maybe it'll change. Maybe it's subjective to a degree where this section of my life was for God, and then it changed. This section of my life is for knowledge, and it'll change, etc., etc. Maybe your purpose just changes throughout your life as well. These are all seriously in-depth questions. And this is the fun part of philosophy. So back to Christian versus atheist, if you want to use that terminology. Am I angry because I'm an atheist? Let's see. When you're a kid and you believe in Santa Claus, and you're told Santa Claus is real, every year for your whole entire childhood life, your parents lie to you by putting presents under a tree and saying a fat man broke into the house and put some fucking toys there. Also, that fat man watches you sleep, so don't you ever dare fuck up. He's watching you. You're showering, he's watching you. Kind of creepy if you think about it that way, but you find out the truth. Majority of kids cry. Could we say the kid is angry that was taken away from them? Okay, they found the truth, and they're angry about the lies that were spread. Okay, maybe it's the same for religion. You grow up believing in Santa Claus. Santa Claus, and this is God. And you're told, do this, do this, do this, or you're not going to get your presents, heaven. And if you don't do this, you're going to get coal, hell. So you live your life in accordance with these rules of this story. Okay? You subscribe to specific belief systems in politics, for instance, education, for instance. To further add into that, the Bible teaches in Genesis that man was made in God's image, that two people were made about 6,000 years ago, and all of us come from that, from incest. Okay, so you have all these belief systems. They're in politics. They're in school systems. You're taught it as an education. And then you learn, oh shit, that may not be real. Santa Claus may not be real. Fuck, what else do I believe that isn't real? Plot twist. There's nothing wrong with the LGBT. There's nothing wrong with homosexuality. But you're raised to have a bias towards that. So then you hate people. And you look down upon innocent, beautiful fucking people because of something you're taught. And you teach them that they're living life wrong and they're going to suffer for eternity because of it. And you start threatening people, believing that you're helping them. But they don't see it that way. And then that barrier comes down. The veil is gone. And you're, oh shit. I have harassed people because I believe this. Yeah, I'm angry at that. I'm very angry that we teach people and cram horseshit myths down people's throats. We hate people because of beliefs that are lies. We spread misinformation, disinformation, false beliefs, left and right. Lose friends and family, potentially make someone else's life worse for a false belief. You bet your ass I'm angry at that. You bet your ass. I hate lies. And I make it my absolute goal. Fuck your feelings. Ben Shapiro said it best. Facts don't give a fuck about what you feel. They don't. They really don't. And I'm going to live that. So, am I angry at lies? You bet your ass I am. People are hated because of lies. People are kicked out of their houses because of lies. People get kicked out of their houses for political beliefs. Are you fucking kidding me? You're going to ruin relationships because someone wants to vote for someone else compared to you? This is where we need to learn critical thinking. Because even if you're able to critically think, you can have conversations with people with opposing views, and you can come to understand their perspective. You don't have to necessarily respect the perspective, but you have to respect the person. For instance, I don't hate Christians, but I hate the lies that Christianity spreads. I hate the pain that Christianity spreads. So yeah, I've got an anger towards it. Is that wrong of me? Is it right of me? It's a damn good question, and we could probably argue that that's a subjective answer. I'm going to leave the video there with a kind of open thought process there. Comment below. Is it bad to be angry about this? Is it bad to be an angry Christian? Is it bad to be an angry atheist? Are the reasons that you leave religion good or bad? For instance, many people leave Christianity because of a bad experience in the church. Is that necessarily bad? Why do you hold that against them? Well, here's why I would say it's bad. It doesn't necessarily say that the church is false in what they teach, just that people were bad to you, probably. That could be bad. It's all subjective, though, isn't it? Let me know what you think. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video and share it with your friends and your mother, because I know it's going to piss everyone off. And I love that. You have a good and or shit day, whatever the fuck you want. You got free will, or not. I don't fucking know. Peace out.